Shit. Bow bow. Man, welcome back. Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast, where we talk about the fake stuff here. All your fantasy wants and needs. Craft man, what's going on, big dog?
What up with you, man? It sounded like you were excited to get back on.
Man, I couldn't wait, man. Last week was hectic. Heck, the week before was hectic, but now I was like, man, I can't wait to get up on here, talk about the fake stuff. C Swizzy, what's going on, man?
What up? What up? What up?
Man,
It's nice having you back. I know last week was hectic as all fuck, especially since all of us got kids.
right, man, dude. I ran in a 5K. I played in the Turkey Bowl. Man, I was so sore I couldn't even lift my legs out the car, man. I had to pick them up and just throw them out. Like, get the fuck up. Man, speaking of that 5K, though, Kraft, I saw old Jordan Pilot out there. He's like pointing the directions or whatever, pointing where to go. And I was like saying, what's up? But I was running by. I was like, this dude has no clue who I am with all this hair on my face and shit, man. Couldn't recognize me at all.
Yeah. You should have flicked his ass off and kept running.
Looked like he might have been standing there with his little girl or something. I assume he has kids. I don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah, had to hold the finger back with the kids around, I guess.
Definitely don't need to turn on the Cruise Dynasty podcast around the kids. We'll go ahead and just say that explicit. I put a couple on there for y'all. If you want to listen to this one, maybe just do it while you're cutting the grass and plug your headphones in. But yep. All right, man. Shoot, man. What we doing? We're gonna recap week 12. We got Monday Night Football going on right now as we speak. So some things we say may not be all the way true. Some things might change tonight. But Craft man, you got some news, notes, anything you could spit out to us?
Yeah, I got some injuries again, but let's see. Travis Etienne left that game, kind of screwed everybody in the first quarter, but as far as his injury goes, they said he was cleared to come back in the game, but they were playing it safe, and Etienne said that he'll play next week, but we know how the players do. They always say they're going to play, so I don't know. Something to keep your eye out on. Come up with a backup plan if you got Etienne. Damian Harris is not expected to play in Week 13, so Patriots play the Bills on Thursday. We know what that means. It's Ramondre time again.
Right. Agreed.
Damian Harris can't stay healthy, can he?
Nah, but when he plays, he looks good, though. Joker just... You know, at the beginning of the year, I was saying with them two, if one of them gets hurt, the other one's going to pop off. But Damian Harris, he just ain't that guy.
Nah, he just stays hurt, and so does this dude, Elijah Mitchell, MCL sprain. I could have swore he just come off an MCL sprain like 2 weeks ago. And he's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. And Christian McCaffrey, he had a little knee irritation, so keep an eye on that. If McCaffrey shouldn't be out, I wouldn't guess, but if Mitchell and McCaffrey's out, what's the plan for the 49ers backfield?
You're going to have to roster Tyrion Davis-Price. I think just in that offense, I mean, that warrants a roster spot just because of the way that they run their offense. And honestly, even with Mitchell gone, the way that they run to running backs, I still feel like, I mean, you know, depending on how it goes. Because Elijah Mitchell was getting a lot of work before he went out. He was getting some yards after contact, too. Really good. And then he does that. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds like Tyrion Davis-Price is the way he might have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
McCaffrey
sure.
don't play. And
All right,
Melvin
what we got?
Gordon. Melvin Gordon is expected to sign with the Chiefs practice squad. I don't really know. I don't think he's going to take that much work from Pacheco.
I was about to say, does that even do anything for you, even a little bit?
I mean, who knows, man? When Andy Reid, you can't really guess, but I mean, Pacheco looks a lot better than Melvin Gordon at this point. I think this is just a depth piece right here. He might play behind Ronald Jones, man.
Right, agree. I was gonna say that too, because he definitely ain't better than Clyde.
Who? Melvin Gordon? Yeah,
he ain't better than Clyde.
I don't know if he's better than Clyde. Yeah. Yeah, and next one we got old J.K. Dobbins. He returned to practice this week, or they're expecting him to return to practice this week.
Oh yeah,
your boy.
My guy.
We're gonna have to play the game again. Wait a week to play him.
Back to the Dobbins game. Me and Kraft was talking about this all at the beginning of the year. Now here we are back at it. I told Chris though, like my team is so beat up that even if they say Dobbins is limited, oh, he's in my lineup. There ain't no doubt about it. It's the same thing with I've seen y'all talk about. Y'all were saying something about Marquise Brown. I was like, heck, my team's so beat up. Marquise Brown's in the lineup for me, no matter what. So Dobbins, but for people out there with normal teams that ain't so beat up and got 10+ people on the hour, I wouldn't play Dobbins your first week back if you could avoid it.
Yeah, Dobbins, man, if they can get Gus Edwards and Dobbins in the game at the same time, the Baltimore offense might do a little bit, but shoot, I don't know. I'm with you. Still give it a week, but here's one guy. He's gonna be out for the rest of the year. Darnell Mooney. Something with his ankle, but it doesn't say if he broke it or sprained it, but it just says he's gonna be out for the season with the ankle injury. So
tough blow.
Kind of sucks. I got him. But y'all, Chris, you got anything else that I missed? Like anything big, injury wise?
No.
I got a couple. Joe Mixon still in concussion protocol. Jacoby Myers is questionable. Look for him. I know he came out of the game and he came back in. I assume he'll play, but they play Thursday. And then Michael Carter's ankle, he's day-to-day, but he could play Sunday. And if he don't play, then you're probably looking to play old Ty Johnson or something like that. I haven't really dug into that, but I think he's the third guy on the depth chart. So pick him up if you can, maybe.
Who is it? Knight.
Yeah,
Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, they signed him from the practice squad. He actually got a good bit of work after he went out too.
So might have to play him this week. You never know. Man, I look at the
James
Colts,
Robinson
man.
Might be back too.
James Robinson. Oh,
you hear? Yeah, he might be back.
I forgot about that bum. I mean that guy. I think that wraps up the news, right? Anything else, Chris? You got anything on your mind?
No. We'll talk about it when we get to these games.
All right, man. I'm just gonna hit some of these leaders, man. From the quarterback spot, we got a lot of usual names right here. We got Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert back up in there, Kyler. But then at number 5 right here, I see my guy Mike White, for the New York Jets, balling. Looked good out there. See, he's got these weapons. He's like, I guess I'm gonna use some of these weapons out here. Let them make me look good. Before we even got on this thing, I was like, I want to hit on the Jets a little bit, fellas. Kraft, Mike White, Zach Wilson. What do you make of this whole situation?
Oh, I love it. I love it now. Mike White has showed it last year. The 1 week he played last year before he got hurt, he went the hell off. So it might take a couple weeks for these teams to get some solid tape on them, and they'll probably end up. My guess is that they're going to end up figuring them out eventually. But for now, Garrett Wilson's looking good. Elijah Moore's looking a lot better. Their whole offense is clicking. So I just stay in the flames until until they had that one game where it's like, oh shit, they done figured him out.
Right. Chris?
I'll make a bold claim. I think Zach Wilson will never take the field again as a New York Jet. I think that he's done with the Jets. I think Mike White is actually using these weapons. Garrett Wilson looked good. Hell, the practice dummy, the goddamn paperweight that they had on the field for the past few weeks actually did good. Elijah Moore, he's not going to be complaining about being traded no more when he's actually getting passes thrown his way, actually being utilized. This offense looks good. I actually think, I even said in the group chat before we got on here, I think this dude warrants a roster spot. I think that if you're one of them people that stash Zach Wilson, and especially Dynasty, drop his ass. Go get Mike White. Because he's got the weapons. I'm not saying like a weekly streamer, but, I mean, I don't know. This Jets team, they got a really good defense.
He'll be in my lineup.
And they got a pretty good offense, so.
Yeah. If you win a Superflex league, I'd definitely go get Mike White. There ain't no doubt about that. Man, I'm kind of, listen, man, I think Chris, he's saying a bold statement, but I'm kind of leaning his way too. I mean, you just don't replace the guy and just, I mean, Zach Wilson's not hurt, right? Are we agreed on that?
No, he's not hurt at all.
Butt hurt.
Yeah, butt hurt.
So it's like, I don't want to just straight up hate on the guy because they were like 7-4. But then we saw it with Joe Flacco and we seen it with Mike White. Like, these guys actually know how to use these weapons. So, what about them? Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson. Elijah Moore, he's back on your rosters now, wouldn't you think, Kraft? And redraft?
In redraft, I'm good. I'll still start somebody else. But if you want to go pick him up, you can. But still, 2 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. I mean, 2 receptions and 2 targets. That ain't really lighting it up, but I like to see it because I've always been Elijah Moore, especially in Dynasty. I've been high on him, but Zach Wilson kind of screwed it up. But remember though, with Zach Wilson, it's not his fault. He didn't let down the defense. He didn't let down that team.
Yeah,
that's what Zach Wilson says.
Yep. Well, Zach Wilson, I know. And first of all, I got to say something about that, man. How can you be talking to the media and being like, oh, nah. Like, you got to go up there and take all the blame if you're the quarterback. Like, I'm pretty sure I literally just heard Justin Fields. They asked him a question like that, and he was, like, taking all the blame and stuff. And clearly, all that shit ain't his fault. And then you look at Zach Wilson, you're like, nah, I didn't let the defense down. And you looking like a bum. Looking like old DJU out there, Chris. That's what he looks like. He looks like a straight bum, man.
He looks like a clown, man. How you gonna say that? It wasn't my fault. This dude's not only thrown one game away this season, he's definitely thrown 2 or 3. And it was literally his fault that they lost some of these games. Like, no doubt his fault.
That game against New England. I don't want to pile on to the man, but here's the thing about Zach Wilson, though. He's going to get a chance somewhere else, and I would give him a chance somewhere else if I was another organization. Heck, if I was the Falcons, I'd say bring him in. Let's see what we got. But
no.
You got. He's the number 2 overall pick.
Shit, so was Trubisky. Look where he's at. I think Trubisky was number 1 overall pick.
I think Trubisky's fine though. I
think he'll go somewhere, but I mean, I just think his time with the Jets, barring like something catastrophic happening, I think he's done.
Man, Kraft, hold on, Kraft. Trubisky never looked this bad.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Though you were saying that he was the number 2 pick. I'm like, that shit don't matter. He's obviously garbage.
I want to say Trubisky was number 3.
Geno Smith looked better his first year than this dude, man.
I know Trubisky went before Mahomes, though.
Yeah, he went before Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, which is crazy. Yeah, but like I said, Josh Allen, he went off. Jalen Hurts, he went off. Justin Herbert, back at it. Yeah, I was saying he was like a dynasty buy low type deal, but that window might just be all the way shut. Because I had already made plans on Justin Herbert at the end of this year. I was about to try to go get him in the offseason. I was going to try to wait it out, but I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore. Looks like they might be about to bat us. He might be about to step it up a little bit. My guy, Kraft, Trevor Lawrence, probably had his best game of his career yesterday, I think. He was quarterback 6 on the week. Shoot, I mean, he had what? No, this says quarterback 5, but I don't know. Yeah. But he had 3 touchdowns, no picks. What you think, man? My guy, my boy.
He's looking better. The Jaguars have them games every now and again where they look good. I really don't think the Jaguars are that bad. They've been hanging in games, and Trevor Lawrence he's getting close to that edge of you can start him in a 1 quarterback league. He's getting close. Hey, I still wouldn't recommend it, but he's right there. He's right there on the edge of it.
Why you say that? I didn't do it this week. I got Trevor Lawrence and Dak. I went Dak. Regrets? Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't really regret it. But Chris, what's up? Trevor Lawrence, that's our guy right there.
Yeah, sunshine. Old hippie. Long hair, don't give a fuck. He's such a good player, man, and I'm glad to see him actually starting to have a good game. That last drive of the game, that was just beautiful football that he did. And I honestly say the nuts on that coach to go for the 2 right there, just the pure balls on that coach to go for 2 right there and get it. That's a hell of a gamble, and Trevor Lawrence put it right where it needed to be, and he knocks off the Ravens.
Derek Carr had him probably his best game of the year, QB 10. I think week 3 he was like QB 6 or something, but Derek Carr looked better. But Mac Jones kind of came out of nowhere. We don't even I don't even remember who Bailey Zappi is now. I thought there might have been a little controversy at the beginning of the year, but played pretty good on Thanksgiving.
He looked good. That game right there was crazy. I went into that one thinking, oh, this is going to be, I think me and Chris talked about it, but I was like, man, I'm taking the under on this one. Like, this game's going to be just slow down the field, but damn. Both them offenses just showed out, and he looked good.
Right. One more I wanted to hit on was Lamar Jackson. Because I've kind of watched probably a good bit of the Baltimore-Jacksonville game. Lamar had man, this dude needs some weapons. This guy needs some help from his guys. This dude had 3 touchdown passes dropped. So I don't want to sit here and pile on to Lamar at all. I think Lamar's still a fine play, but they got to get this guy they need to get him some guys, especially a wide receiver. Go draft your wide receiver. You can't just trade Hollywood Brown and not replace him with nothing. So, not saying Rashad Bateman ain't bad. I think he's a good player, but that he's out for the year. So it's you need to get this guy something. What you think, Crab?
Shit, I'm down on Lamar for the rest of this year, redraft wise, because it's just proven over and over and over again that he's just not really. There's just a lot of quarterbacks that I'd start over him at this point. It don't look that good, and he's not running quite as much as he used to. There's been a lot. If you watch some of the games, it seems like there's a lot of times where it looks like he's about to take off, and then it'll just throw the ball out of bounds or something. It's what's wrong with this man? He just don't want to get hurt because he don't want to lose that contract or something. But it's been pretty proven he ain't really hitting on shit in the last month, 2 months.
Yep. Shoot, man, we'll move on to these running backs. We'll talk about Chris's guy right here, Josh Jacobs. Dude, man. I mean, he's probably, I bet, he's the RB1 on the year. Well, this thing right here says RB2 in this PPR league I'm in. So top 2, sheesh. The dude had 48 fantasy points yesterday. I still stick to what I'm saying. Unless you're just going for the championship, you'll never get a better time to sell Josh Jacobs. You should go out there and get a haul. But if you're going for the ship, you might as well ride this out because this dude is going off, man. I'd want him on my team. Shit. Chris, you got him on your team. Talk about your boy for a little bit.
I'm hoping he rides me to that championship. I mean,
Right.
I'm hoping he brings me there. Points wise, I was in a close matchup this week in the Dynasty League we're in, and then he busts up the middle for an 86-yard touchdown to have a 303 all-purpose yards. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And he even went into overtime being questionable. The calf was bothering him, and he did that still.
Yeah.
I got to see what happens in free agency because the Raiders going to have to open that wallet. They're going to have to. Otherwise, he's gone. And we keep saying that. I mean, I just can't stress enough how clownish it is to not pick up this dude's option and get him for the low. And now you're going to have to pay out the ass just to keep him. And he has absolutely zero reason to stay with you. Absolutely zero reason. Y'all are a bottom team. Y'all are trash. He could easily go get paid from a contender next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think as far as that, this is the year. It's over with. I do remember at the beginning of the year, I was saying they're going to just run the hell out of Josh Jacobs this year. Kraft, you don't see any return to Las Vegas, right? Because I know I don't. What you think?
Nah, I mean, I don't, but I was thinking it was fun, and we got some sound effects on this bitch. Now we talk about Josh Jacobs, and he's a motherfucking train, son. Y'all hear that train in the background? That's Josh Jacobs yesterday. That's Josh Jacobs. But, I mean, the Raiders would just have to eat it. Like, they would have to just be wrong because they could have got him for so much cheaper if they signed the 5th year. And if they do end up getting Josh Jacobs, it's pretty much the Raiders saying, hey, you know, we fucked up, but we're going to pay you the big contract anyway when we could have got you for, you know, nothing. And, but I don't know. I don't think the Raiders will do that. I think he might end up going somewhere else. But what do y'all want to happen with Jacobs if you're a dynasty owner?
I know what I want. I would want Josh Jacobs to go to one of these teams that ain't got no running backs, like the Falcons or the Rams or who else is out there? There's some other teams out there that ain't got running backs where you was like, dang, if Josh Jacobs was there and the O-line was just all right, he's probably about to go off and get a lot of the work. So what you think, Kraft? Rams, Falcons, anybody else out there?
I mean, best case scenario for me would be him just stay where he's at with the Raiders. I don't really. If he went to the Rams or Falcons, that'd be great. Cordero's on like a 1-year deal, so he probably won't. He probably won't be back. I wouldn't think, but if Jacobs was the main guy there, Algier ain't gonna be trying to.
Right.
But with me saying that Arthur Smith, man, I think he's one of them coaches that just throw somebody out there who's got less talent anyway. He does it with Algier and all them Avery Williams, and you just see a bunch of names. You're like, what the hell is this dude doing on the field? So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just draws you back to the locker room a minute ago.
I see it. Shoot, Miles Sanders had the RB2 week. Man, I don't know, man. I've never been big on Miles Sanders, so every time I see him have a big game, I'm like, bull. That's some bull right there. Luck. Somebody's mad. Somebody's happy as fuck. Somebody's mad.
He is good though.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Every time I watch him, he looks pretty good though. But I always think about Jalen Hurts is gonna get the touchdowns, but heck, they both had big weeks. So Miles Sanders against Green Bay in a shootout against Kraft's Packers. Trash, man, trash. What happened to y'all, man?
I done gave up on that shit. I'm just enjoying watching Christian Watson run around like a chicken with his head cut off the last couple weeks, and getting to see a little bit of Jordan Love last night. He actually looked pretty good for a minute.
Best I've seen him look the whole time I've seen him. I've seen him a few times. He's been trash every time I've seen him.
Yeah. We didn't hit on that with the news either. Rodgers might have some rib issues. He might be out, which I hope they need to sit him. I want to see what Jordan Love got.
Yep. I'm with you, yep. Austin Eckler, another big game. I mean, there's really just nothing to say. He's just the PPR man. But Brian Robinson, our guy, 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
50 Cent done had him a big game. What was it? Let's see, 18 attempts for 105 yards and a touchdown reception. So, listen, I ain't gonna sit there. Brian Robinson, I think he's a fine player, a fine flex play, depending on the matchup. But the dude just went against the Falcons, and that's how I see that. I'm a Falcons fan, and we are trash. So if you tell me Brian Robinson's gonna have a good game, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, I believe it."
Yeah, I mean, he the week before he went against Houston though, and got me I thought that was a great matchup, and he got 5 points. So I feel like we're getting to the point with him where it's kind of like either, just probably just throw him in every week, and you're gonna have some duds, and then you're gonna have a game like last week, just depending on if he can get in the end zone or not.
Right. Jermichael Hasty was the running back 5 of the week. I think he's worth trying to put him on. If ETN don't play this week, you might as well, try to have him on your roster. He just got dropped.
Darrell Henderson didn't play though. He was inactive his first week, but I mean, Darrell Henderson might be active next week. You think Jermichael Hasty's that much better? You were like, nah, not Darrell Henderson, but Jermichael Hasty's all good though.
We'll have to see Darrell Henderson. I mean, I get that the Rams O-line was bad and maybe that contributed, but he looked like trash this whole year. So you don't just get dropped for no reason, man. You get dropped because you ass, and he's ass. So they tried to. Shit, they was like they couldn't even drop the guy, man. I mean, it is funny. That situation is just hilarious. Dang, Matt Ryan got some wheels.
Oh shit. Is halftime over, or is it still?
Man, 22. Yeah, about 20 seconds to the half. Yeah. So Jermichael Hasty, I think he's just worth having on your roster and monitoring the situation with Travis Etienne. But I expect Etienne to be playing. Ramondre Stevenson had a big one. Nick Chubb, a lot of players had 20 points. Like 6 players had 20 points. Rachaad White, my guy, been telling y'all to stash him all year. Had 19.9 PPR points this week. To me, Rachaad White's just better than Fournette. Fournette's a little beat up and stuff like that, but Fournette really wasn't doing much all year anyways, especially running the ball. But I don't know. The Buccaneers are just trash, so I really don't want anybody except for Godwin at this point because I'm seeing my guy Mike Evans out there. That dude cannot catch right now. But I don't know, man. It's just they got a weird situation going on. I would like to have Rachaad White, and I don't really know what the word is on Fournette. But we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Rachaad White does look good for me. I mean, as long as Fournette's out, he's a good start. If Fournette comes back, he'll probably be a 50-50 snap type guy because he was starting to get. He actually got the start when Fournette was healthy when they were in where were they at? London, or they were over somewhere. But yeah, I'm down starting Rachaad White about every week as a flex play. But shoot, one dude I want to talk about, like Kenneth Walker and like Saquon. Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns, but he had another kind of bad week on the ground. He had 14 carries for 26 yards, 1.9 a carry. You worried about that, or is it just bad game?
Man, I ain't worried about Kenneth Walker at all, honestly. If anything, I think this dude might be the daggum running back 1 in Dynasty at this point. At least top 4 or 5. But yeah, Kenneth Walker getting touched. I mean, I feel like that's just kind of what you expect from him. He's going to get a lot of, especially with the way the offense rolls, he's going to have some scoring opportunities and stuff like that. I mean, I watched him play some. I thought he looked pretty good. So you worried about him, Crab?
No, not really. I ain't worried about him that much. I mean, it's just a couple weeks. Like I said, 14 carries for 26, and then week 10 against Tampa, 10 carries for 17 yards. That week he had a decent amount of receptions. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how you have that bad of a game against the Raiders. The Raiders are awful. But
right.
It might have just been just a fluke game. He still got in the end zone twice, so he helped your lineup out. It's just one of the things, keep an eye on. Like, is he running as efficient as he was to start the year? Because a lot of times with these rookies, these running backs and stuff like that, these college guys, they ain't played a full season like this.
Right.
Something to keep your eye out on.
Agreed. What was the other one? Saquon. I mean, I ain't really worried about Saquon either. I think Saquon, that he just is the offense for the Giants. Like him, Daniel Jones running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really worried about Saquon either. I mean, still 15 points. I mean, what is he in PPR leagues? Is the RB6, so he's exceeded my expectations anyway. So, Chris,
Yep.
Saquon?
No, I was hoping. I'll talk about old Jeff Wilson. Old Kraft was right. He almost called the score almost perfectly to that game going into the half. He said it's going to be 28-3 going into halftime, and they're going to shut it down. It was 26-0. I mean, that as far as guessing it,
30-0.
30-0, and then they shut it down. So he should have had a bigger day playing Houston. I think it's crazy that I played him, and then DJ Moore has a decent day, and the Panthers win. That just doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
Houston's
not worried
problem,
about it,
man. They're a problem. Houston, when you got a quarterback facing them or receivers facing them, if they, the second half might not even, your guys might not even be in the game. Like if I think the Chiefs play them here in a couple weeks, it's like, that's going to be a bad matchup for Patrick Mahomes and the boys. But one running back I do want to talk about now that we're on Houston, Dameon Pierce has just appeared off the face of the planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing with Dameon Pierce is I think he's good, and I think he could be one of the top backs in the league, but as long as Houston's going to be that bad and they're not in game scripts, that's going to help him out. Like, if you're losing all the time and getting smacked, I mean, Dameon Pierce is pretty much irrelevant in your lineup. So, I mean, I would like to have Dameon Pierce. Man, the thing is I can't say I would because I don't really have nobody else to put in, but if I would say you have to look at benching them depending on if you think they're going to get blown out. If they're playing the Miami Dolphins, I think you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to bench this guy because the Dolphins are just boat racing every motherfucking team out there. There's other teams out there. Like if Houston's playing the Chiefs, like I'm thinking, yeah, I'm benching Dameon Pierce. Like I don't want to play this guy.
They got Cleveland this week, so you're playing them.
I'm playing. Yeah, I'd play him this week. Faux show, but heck, Deshaun Watson might come out there and boat race them. We'll have to see how it goes.
No.
My guy cannot wait, man. Shout out to Deshaun Watson, man. I can't believe the woke mob did you wrong like that. Dude, pretty much cost him 2 years of his career. We'll talk about Deshaun a little bit later on. Any more running backs to hit on, Kraft?
Nah, I mean, there's a couple little flukes that got put in there this week. Had a good week. I think JaMychal Hasty's kind of a fluke.
Yeah, big time.
Ty Johnson, Amir Abdullah's up there.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah, that's a definite fluke right there. Oh, garbage.
Trash.
James Conner got over 100 yards rushing for the first time this season.
He looked good though.
I honestly think he should have had a bigger day, but that toddler that they got QBing back there, man, the way they run that offense, he still had a good day though.
You can't catch me.
All right, then shoot. We'll move on to some of these receivers. And Justin Jefferson had the #1 wide receiver week. And look, I'm just gonna say this, and this is really not even gonna be that controversial at all. But it used to be tight between 1 and 2. It was either him or Jamar. With Jamar going down, Justin Jefferson, but just been balling. I think he's probably the clear dynasty wide receiver 1. And there's like a little bit of a gap than there was, say, at the beginning of the year. Would y'all agree or disagree?
I agree.
I mean,
right now.
Yeah. I mean, I still had Justin Jefferson over him. I was actually down a little bit more down on Chase to start the year than most. But as far as dynasty goes, I would still pick Justin Jefferson first, but can't really hate on Jamar Chase. He just ain't been out there.
Right.
Kind of hard to say what he'd be doing right now.
Chris Godwin. I mean, this is the main guy I want on that Tampa Bay offense. This dude had 13 targets, 12 receptions, and got a touchdown. If Chris Godwin gets a touchdown, Chris Godwin's just like, he's got a nice floor with him. That's what I'm going to say, especially in your PPR leagues when the dude's getting like, I mean, he got 12 grabs, but other than that, the dude hasn't got anything less than 6. So definitely a nice floor with Chris Godwin. You throw a touchdown in there and you have a great day. So I love me some Chris Godwin, man.
Yep. And going back to Tom Brady throughout his career, it seems like he likes throwing the ball to them guys over the middle of the field like the Edelmans, and he's just going to pepper them with targets. So Godwin's about as safe as you can possibly get, like you said. Remember when we said that about Fournette, though? Buzzproof.
Yeah. Right. I know, man. I really do feel that way with Godwin, though. I felt it with Leonard Fournette, but I definitely liked Rachaad White. But Godwin, it's like, this is what Tom Brady's just going to have to do. Like, I mean, he's just going to have to keep on doing it. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, always at the end of the year just starts balling. That's why I didn't want to trade Amon-Ra. I was willing to trade him in that redraft league with the Average Joes. I'm glad I didn't. I think if I could just sneak in them playoffs, y'all going to be in trouble, Kraft. But
I done won 3 in a row.
Oh, Noah Turner better be on the lookout. But yeah, Amon-Ra.
11-1 ass. He's going to lose in the first round of playoffs, too, with his 11-1 ass.
That should, better not get matched up with me, or you going to be in trouble. But yeah, Amon-Ra balling, going off against Buffalo, so it wasn't exactly the easiest matchup, but yeah, Chris, you got some Amon-Ra shares, right?
Oh yeah, that's the sun god, bro. That dude
would y'all even be worried a little bit with what's his face coming in, Williamson coming in? Does it Kraft? Would you be a little worried? Maybe not for this year, but like a dynasty play. Would you sell him high, or are you just holding on to him forever?
I'm holding him.
Yeah.
I ain't getting rid of him unless you give me something juicy.
Yeah, I told David hit me up to want to trade for Amon-Ra, and I told him for me to come off Amon-Ra, it's going to have to be something so fucking insane that it's literally going to cause people to veto the shit out of it. Like it's going to like not be gone through. I was just like, I'm too high on him, man. Like I traded Devontae Smith and got Amon-Ra from David, and he was like, that's the biggest regret that he's got. So, but he's just playing good, and I don't think Jameson Williams coming back is going to make that big of a deal. I mean, it may hurt his red zone targets, I feel like, because I mean, Jameson Williams is probably going to become that red zone guy, especially with Hawkinson gone. They don't have a big guy right now. I think it's going to eat more into Chark, and I know me and Kraft to talk about both these guys can run out the slot. Amon-Ra is like that dude is the perfect slot receiver, and Jameson Williams can play out that too. I think there's just going to be like, they're just going to have a good little duo. Hopefully, Jameson Williams can come back and get back to form.
Zay Jones, man, for Jacksonville. This dude had the number 4 wide receiving day. The past 2 weeks, this dude's had 10 targets and 14 targets, 8 receptions and 11 receptions. What do we make of Zay Jones, man? I mean, I've been high on Christian Kirk, and I feel validated for being right about Christian Kirk. But when I'm now starting to look at this offense with Jacksonville, and we're talking about Zay Jones, we're talking about Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley's going to be in the mix next year. What are we doing with those Zay Jones? Would you got him right here? He does a game like this. You trying your best to sell high? Because I'm selling high if I can.
In Dynasty, he's 27. I mean, I guess you could sell high, but it's Zay Jones. I mean, how high you think you can sell Zay Jones after one game? But as far as redraft goes, Detroit,
what
Tennessee,
you mean high, man? Like what you talking? You talking like a second? What you talking? What would you take?
You send me if you send me a late second, I'm shipping him out.
Yeah.
I would take Zay Jones in that case.
I just
like early.
I know.
Yeah, just somebody you can just plug in on a bye week or something. Like that's Zay Jones. Like just for a late second rounder, I'll take a flex option. I can just throw in there at any time.
Right. Yeah. We'll just see how it goes, see how it plays out. I can't wait to see this Jacksonville offense next year. That's when I'm going to judge Trevor Lawrence the hardest. Year 3. Year 2 under, what's his face? Peterson. So, Garrett Wilson, with your number 5 wide receiving day. He loves it when, I know he's got to love it. Mike White coming up in there. I mean, I feel like if you just ask these wide receivers, they'll probably say, to hell with Zach Wilson. So, Kraft, man, Garrett Wilson, man. I mean, what are we thinking long term this year? This year, I feel like as long as Zach Wilson ain't as quarterback, this dude might be like a league winner type guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up a little bit here. I'm gonna say a bad thing. I'm gonna say a good thing. I don't think Jets got their quarterback situation fixed. I ain't trying to live in the moment too hard. A lot of folks, they believe in Mike White, but one game, I got to see it. Freaking Matt Flynn threw for 7 touchdowns with Green Bay and like 450 yards one game. Like 600 yards. I don't know what it was, but like I said, when teams start to get the tape on this man and figure out what his weaknesses are, what defenses play good against him, maybe he'll be great. Not saying that he won't. I lean on the side of I don't think the Jets got this quarterback situation figured out. When it comes to next year in the draft, they'll be talking about getting one or maybe getting a veteran or something. But as far as Garrett Wilson goes for redraft, just put him in your lineup every week, and in Dynasty, do the same. And I'd say just hold.
Yeah.
Where y'all at with him?
I'm in the same spot.
Yep, holding all the way, man. I mean, he was high coming into these rookie drafts. People were probably taking him at the 104 at the latest. So, I mean, I would hold T. Higgins had the number 6 day. And listen, man, every time I talk about T. Higgins, I just talk about the duos, T. Higgins, Jamar, and then Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Man, I'm telling you, man, those are 2 duos. I wish I could just have all 4 of those guys on my team. Just throw them on my team. But T. Higgins, I guess why I say T. Higgins is like, even when Jamar's back, y'all even worried about T. Higgins even a little bit? Because I'm definitely not. I would still, wherever you got T. Higgins ranked into the week, I'd still keep him there, even if Jamar's there.
Yep. I'm the same. I was high on Higgins with Jamar there at the start of the year, and he's just, man, they just throw the ball 50-50 up to him, it seems like once a week, and he comes down with it in the end zone.
Yeah. What else y'all want to hit? What other wide receivers y'all want to hit on real quick? Now we got some fluky ones like Adam Thielen, fluke.
McKenzie, fluke.
McKenzie, fluke.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, fluke.
Nah, I disagree with that one, actually.
Oh, shit. Don't fall for it.
Nah, man, look, I'm not falling for it, but here's the thing, though. He got a quarterback that he's crossed 1,000 yards with twice in his season. He only had 500-something receiving yards coming into the year. He already got 103 more and a touchdown. He was actually good. He got 6 targets, 4 receptions, but I think it might keep up. But next year, Dynasty, I don't think it matters just because, I mean, the quarterback situation is still not figured out in Carolina, for sure. I mean, Sam Darnold, I was happy as fuck we replaced him, and now I'm literally like begging him to come back, and he actually has a good game. But DJ Moore is talented, man. DJ Moore is a good receiver. It's just they're not figured out.
Yeah, I'm with Chris on DJ Moore as the talent, because remember when we was doing our rankings crap and we was reeling them off, I had DJ Moore at 12. So it was like I was definitely looking forward to him this year, but yeah. I ain't falling for it. I tried to sell him back in the day. Nobody wanted him. But heck, he's on my lineup and he paid off yesterday. So it's like, hopefully Sam Darnold stays at quarterback, and hopefully it just all works out. Real quick, Christian Watson. Man, this dude is legit. I mean, he's definitely legit. Had a slow start at first, but you're a rookie. You're playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback, Christian Watson. Man, who would you rather have, Christian Watson or Treylon Burks?
Christian Watson, sure.
Is that easy?
I'm a Packers fan, so if it's a 50-50, if I can't decide, I'm just going to go with my guy. But, from a unbiased standpoint, shit, I mean, what more can you really ask? He's been hurt pretty much all year, in and out of the lineup. But the last 3 weeks, so for the first half of the season, all the way till week 9, his highest snap count was 66% in week 1. Then it was 32, 25, 29, 9%, 23%. He was hurt. The last 3 weeks, he's been on the field for over 80% of snaps, 30 points, 19 points, and 19 points. And he ain't going to catch a whole bunch. He's not your Stephon Diggs, but he's your, he'll take a slant to the house in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like super fast,
Deshaun Jackson type,
He bigger than Deshaun Jackson.
Even me.
Yeah, I think he's more. I think he's just more of a complete player.
He's built like Julio and Calvin Johnson, to tell you the truth. I ain't comparing him to them, but that's how he's built.
Kraft, you done said it, man. What a hot take that is.
He is the next Julio.
Yeah, another one I want to talk about. DeAndre Hopkins still had a big day at 18.7, but old Marquise Brown came back and had about 6 grabs, something like that. I'm just saying this. I was saying it at the beginning of the year. I was saying it when D-Hop was going to come back. I'm not worried about those two guys, period, getting targets. I think, maybe instead of D-Hop getting 14 targets one game, he might get 11. That's about all I'm worried about. I think Marquise Brown I think these guys are still going to eat. Especially with Rondale Moore. I know he just went down, I think we said Rondale went down for a little bit and Dortch went down. Yeah. So I'm not really worried about neither of these guys. I'm definitely going to try to play them both. What you think, Kraft?
We were talking about DJ Moore a minute ago. If you're in a dynasty league, try to sell DJ Moore in a second for Marquise Brown. See if you can get that.
But man, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody giving up.
Chris might. He loves DJ Moore. He's super talented, but the quarterback situation just ain't figured out.
Hey man, he's got 5 years over 1,000 yards with shitty quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. You take that trade then. That's what you say when you offer it too, DJ Moore.
No, because we might have a good quarterback in the future.
Man. Crap, this is what I'm saying about Marquise Brown. For some reason, that dude doesn't get appreciated for being as good as he is, because in the league that I'm in, the home league with all them dudes trash Marquise Brown. They was clowning him, and then right when Marquise Brown goes down, the same 2 people, shout out to Duncan Akill, the same 2 people that were trashing him, then they want to go make some offers for him right away. So I don't know, man. To me, if you want to get Marquise Brown, you better offer a haul for him at this point, because this dude was number 4 before Lamar Jackson went down, then was number 5 before he went down this year with Kyler. So this dude's way up there. So I don't know where he's at in dynasty rankings, but this dude, he's definitely higher than what most people have him, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so too. He's kind of like the Tyler Lockett. He's following that thing where you got Hopkins there, who's just everybody talks about him, and here's Marquise Brown. He's just going to do his thing, quietly every week.
Right. One more wide receiver I wanted to hit on was CeeDee Lamb. This dude had 17 fantasy points this past week and was robbed of a touchdown. I don't know if y'all saw that.
No, that was not a touchdown, bro.
That was a touchdown.
That was not a touchdown.
From what I seen, I felt like it was a touchdown. But this right here, this guy's the number 7 wide receiver on the year. Played with a backup for about 4 games. My guy Dunk was saying I was a clown for ranking CD ahead of AJ Brown, and now I'm starting to see. Do CD Lamb. I was like kind of fading off from what I was saying. I had him as the dynasty wide receiver 3. I'm definitely fading off from it from the standpoint as I'm definitely putting Waddle ahead of him. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think it's like a knock on CD. I think this might be another year, Kraft, where I'm sitting here like, CD, I'm buying into this shit again. Like, where are you stand on that one?
I talked about this. I mean, he's a wide receiver 7. In the redraft draft, he was probably going as about the wide receiver 7. So you're getting your return for him. And the only thing I got to say about CD is just don't expect like every year we come in and say this guy could finish number 1. Just put that to bed. But it's happened the last 2 years. Or like he could finish all the way in the top 3 or something. But I mean, if you're wanting a mid-range wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, he's perfect. He's just fine. He gets a lot of work, gets a lot of targets, and it's going up from here. He does look better and better as the weeks go on.
Yep, agreed. I mean, that one. It looks like Jonathan Taylor may have got in, but
yes. Did he score?
It looks like it. Yep, touchdown. They saying so far.
Boom.
It looked pretty close though. So take that off, Slam Easy. If you're listening, hold that L, big dog. But shoot, any more receivers y'all want to hit on? Chris, you got any receivers you want to tap on real quick?
No.
Kraft?
That one. Metcalf still doing his thing. 11 for 90.
Yeah.
Last week, 15 targets.
Yeah, Metcalf.
In that shootout of a game.
He let's see, right now he's a wide receiver 17. And I've pretty much been like, as far as where my rankings was, like he's like literally right where I have him ranked. But I'm gonna just take an L on him and really I'm taking an L on Tyler Lockett and Geno Smith. Taking L's on those guys. DK Metcalf, I'm just gonna say I took an L because this whole operation that Seattle's got going has been way better than what I expected. What you say?
Yeah, for sure. It was right about where we ranked him. We could have seen him busting a little bit, but he's been pretty solid. You know, you said wide receiver 17. That's about where he was getting drafted this year. So
yeah,
we were all kind of spot on with that one. He's been a little bit more steady than I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be a little more boom bust, but he's just been, right there putting up good wide receiver 2 numbers all year long when he's been playing.
Right. Heck, if there was any wide receiver I was wrong on, it was probably Terry McLaurin. I feel like he always just him and Heineken. They seem to have some kind of connection. What's yours? Oh, Sutton.
Hell yeah. The Broncos. Good God almighty, man. Jesus, Chris, tell us what your Panthers did to them garbage ass
smacked their ass. Matt, I was about to get on the company Twitter, bro, because Matt had said in the thing he took the money line, and I was about to be like, "You eating them words today, Matt?"
I mean,
smacking these things.
Shit, man. I was every Broncos game. I've been picking the under every one of them. I've been going in on it. I was like, all right, here it is. I'm gonna just pick the under. Now it's like the Panthers. They ain't losing to the Panthers. I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and take the win right here. We'll hit the money line. It'll be easy. And then I started seeing this game getting away from me. I'm like, what in the fuck? I should have just picked the under. I've seen Russ. He getting yelled at by defensive guys like, yo, you need to get your shit. I seen that one lineman come off the field for Denver like, yo, up in Russ's face.
Hey, man, I've got to the point where full-fledged, I believe 100% in my mind. Y'all can think I'm crazy for this. Russ is the biggest fraud in the NFL to me right now. I swear on everything to me. I think the Seahawks just robbed the Broncos at gunpoint for everything that they got for Russ, and they just swindled the shit out of them.
Man, they did. They did. Kraft, man, I'm telling you, at first I was saying he might be banged up. But I don't know, man. This is bad. This is so bad. I think I'm starting to agree with Chris. This dude's a fraud, man.
If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that Geno Smith was going to look better than Russell Wilson, I might have slapped you. Honestly.
Mike White makes Russ just look like a bitch. I mean, isn't it? I've been starting Russell Wilson. I've been starting Russell Wilson in my Superflex all year long, and I swear he is perfect for 11 to 15 points every week. He's straight ass, dude. He's ass.
I tell you what's his name? The head coach for Denver. He will definitely be out of there, and they'll try to run it back.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, they'll try to run it back.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking they're gonna try to run it back with them, and then maybe in the offseason, some people start buying into the hype. Like Dunk might be sitting on this pod talking about Jerry Jeudy, and then maybe a couple people might be like Sutton. Like I don't know, but I'm just gonna tell you now, I ain't falling for nothing. I got to see Russ look at least average before I say anything about any Broncos players. To me, it's Javonte Williams or bust on that team, and that dude just got his knee fucked up. So I don't know, man. That's an offense I need to stay away from. Maybe Dolchich.
Speaking of Javonte, since we hadn't talked about him in a while, would you trade how early of a pick in the first round is too early for Javonte? Like if you thought you had like the number 4 pick next year's rookie draft, would you trade that for Javonte? Because I wouldn't. Not the way this Broncos team looks.
Nah, I wouldn't. And I'm high on Javonte. I mean, I think Javonte Williams, he'll be pretty high in my ranking still, even though with the injury. But definitely not. I probably wouldn't play the first. Yeah. Heck, if somebody offered me a high first round this year, I'd probably ship Javonte. Well, I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't know, man. Tough decision right there. I wouldn't just trade a high first round for Javonte Williams. So, but if I had Javonte Williams, I probably wouldn't just accept one first round either. So I'd probably want a little more.
Yeah, so, I'm in the same boat. I wouldn't move him. Like I said earlier about moving him on, I wouldn't move him unless it was something just absolutely bogus where you're just clearly winning that trade. I just hold on to him. As bad as they look, this dude's literally going to be the offense next year.
In Dynasty, though, never be afraid to move some running backs. So I feel like, unless you're like me, where I just value the running back so much, where I'm just willing to just keep on bringing in more and more. Like, I mean, I would try not to hold the bag on too many of these guys. Like, I'm holding the bag on Swift right now. Swift's on the block, but it's like I can't get nothing but these low ball offers. But so there's nothing better to do than just hold at this point and just hope that next year something happens. But I don't know, man. It's never a bad idea to sell a running back.
Nah, I like how, like last year, Urban Meyer was with the Jaguars and ETN was like, oh, my Liz Frank. Oh, I can't play this year. That's what Javonte did. He's seen the first couple games with Russ, and he's like, oh, shit, ACL tore. I ain't going to ride this out with you fellas. Just hold it down.
Yeah. Well, yep. Hey, you want to talk about a couple of these tight ends real quick?
No.
Just real quick. Dalton Schultz, big balling.
2 touchdowns. That's it, though.
Always seems to do all right with Dak.
Yeah, he does. I thought he had 3, but I ain't even gonna lie, man. Every single one of Dallas's tight ends look the exact same, man. They just wear different numbers. I thought he had the jet sweep. I was about to get in the group chat and be like, Dalton. I was about to be like, dude, I just traded Claypool for this dude. Are you kidding me?
Man, Akil, what are you thinking, man? I can see what Akil's doing in that trade, but holy shit, man. What a bad trade that was. I guess if Dalton Schultz leaves and goes somewhere else, it might not be so bad. But Chris, you're right about Schultz and all these tight ends looking the same. They're all white and they're all pale as fuck. Like pale as the
only thing different is the numbers on their jerseys, dude. I swear. They even all have the same facial hair and like everything. I swear to God, they all look the exact same.
A bunch of robots out there just oh Lord. The number 2 tight end of the week. If you ain't looking, I just want to take a guess, man. Kraft, are you just happen to be looking?
Yeah, I was looking, so I'll be cheating. You can get Chris. You looking? I already know.
I'm
Who it is.
looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Well, it says old Josh Oliver tied in for Baltimore. That just makes me laugh because I don't know who the fuck this dude is, man. I have no clue. If you had
He's on the
Josh
come
Oliver
up.
in your Hey, if you had him in the lineup, I give you credit, man. In fact, send us a message. I'll cash app you 100 if you had him in your lineup.
Hey,
If you had him in a DFS thing, you probably paid like $300 total for this dude to put him in your line.
What a DFS play that would have
yeah.
been right there. Should have been on the radar, right, Crab?
Hell yeah, we need your time traveling ass to come hop on the podcast with us and talk some shit. Because goodness gracious, you predicted that shit. I mean,
Right.
that was like that OJ Howard at the start of the year when he scored like 3 touchdowns in one game.
Come out of nowhere, man. Dude gets cut by the Bills. Next thing you know, he's scoring a couple touchdowns for Houston, and I didn't even know he was on the team. Tight ends, man. Travis Kelce had the number 3 day. Hawkinson had the 4 day. Henry had the 5 day. I mean, that's about all you need to know, man. Mark Andrews had the number 11 day. So, yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's up with
nothing much
Andrews,
to say. Probably still a
Y'all
little
worried
hurt
about
or whatever.
Andrews? I think he's hurt.
I think he's hurt. I wouldn't be too worried about him. Especially like knowing that he's your tight end. It's like, even if you're worried about him, it don't even matter. You're just gonna have to play this guy. So,
Yeah, I know Noah was talking about in the dynasty league. He just put him on a trade block. I'm like, I give you my whole team in a tight end premium for Mark Andrews. I mean,
ooh,
what you want to do?
tight end premium. I'm definitely not getting rid of this guy no matter what. Not right now. If you're gonna sell though,
Yeah.
you better get a haul.
I'm gonna give him Judy and Scantlin and all them bums off my bench. Just throw all of them in one trade. See if I can get rid of all these guys all at once.
You know, some people
win-win.
fall for that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, I had that Jordan kid when I first started this podcast, Kirby Smart's nephew. He's like showing me these trades he sold Jonathan Taylor for, and I'm like, who are these guys? Like, these guys are like, I don't even recognize not one of them, man. I'm just like, who are these dudes? You accepting trade? I mean, it had to be like 8 players. He's like, yeah, look at all these players I got for Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, you can't even play not one of them.
I gotta call out Dunk for doing some stuff like that, because that dude will get on that trade calculator thing and he'll add people to it till it meets up, and he'll just add people just to add points to it. Like, he'll add bullshit in there, and he's like, look, it says it's a fair trade. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm getting like 6 shitty players. Of course it adds up to the one good player.
I'd be telling Dunk, I'd be like, man, it can't be that keep trade cut shit. That's just clown shit right there. I just want to make my own keep trade cut calculator, man, because he's always sending me this stuff like as if I was selling. He's like sending me all this stuff like he'll say I want Swift, and I'll be like, all right, you can have Swift. Next thing you know, I got an offer for Swift, Jamal Williams, Dobbins, K Tony, like it's all in one. I'm like, those little calculators ain't shit.
Let me tell you, this is how I knew that site never even trust anything on that site. I put in one of David's trade into it, and it said David won the trade. That's how I knew that I will never use this. I will never use this site again, ever.
Oh, Lord, man.
I forgot which one it was.
For people out there, we'll go ahead and say this as a little side note for the people out there. I'm not a big believer in these calculators, but I say you could use one of these calculators just to get you in the ballpark. Like, at least kind of know the value of these guys. Like, I know we like to roast on our guy David, Chris. We like to roast on him. And I agree with the premise of what David says. Like, these experts ain't shit. They don't know nothing. Go and get your guy. Go make the trade. If that's your guy, go and get him. I agree with that. But my guy David don't know the value of these players. He's getting killed in every one of these trades. You gotta at least know the value of some of these guys. Like, you should be getting more for some of these guys. Know the value of the position and stuff like that.
He just texted the group chat, man. Said these points don't matter what you're scoring. All that matters is your record. David's in the middle. He's literally tied up where points are gonna matter too. David just says some questionable things, man. David, I love you to death, man, but good God, dude, you do so much stupid shit.
No players, no picks. but somehow he's like winning. It's funny, man. In every league I'm in, there's always like somebody who's so lucky and then somebody who's so unlucky. It just makes me laugh, man. You definitely want to be on the lucky side. If you're gonna win a championship, you got to be a little lucky. I guess you agree? Crap. Do you agree or disagree with anything I just said? Have you ever even looked at a trade calculator?
Hell no, I don't look at trade calculators up. I mean, we do. I mean, it's us though. We do a damn podcast talking about fantasy football. We kind of know what the hell we're doing. But if you're a new guy just playing and you don't even know players, I mean, my advice would just be don't make trades until you figure can make your own mind up anyway. But no, I don't look at trade calculators.
Just go watch football. Just watch it. Watch every game, every league, and if you don't learn nothing, you aren't watching it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you.
Not out to eat in a while. Just be like, I'm watching football Sunday every single game. Like, go give it some. Go get us some food. Bring it back.
I was just pull it up on my phone and listen to it all day.
Oh Lord, man, we got to be the goofiest podcast out there, but we also are the realest because, in fact, I'm gonna start putting some quotes on there. I'm gonna be like, "Look, man, to hell with the experts. Listen to us." Just some things like that, man. There's some things where I'm just like, you can't listen to them guys on there. Like, there's one thing that's going around, like people are talking about you should sell Kenneth Walker. And I'm just like, that's the dumbest shit. I just can't even get on board with something like that right now. Like, all these little people on Twitter and stuff trying to be ahead of the game and trying to act like they so smart. Like, fuck out of here with that shit. Like, I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah. I think it's like the dunks of the world where they're like, he's trying to get Kenneth Walker. He's like, you should sell. You should all sell. All the buyers of Kenneth Walker are like, you need to sell.
Right. Yeah, man. We're gonna do some episodes about how to we're gonna have to do some talk where we talk about like how to make trades and stuff like that. Because I see some different strategies in the leagues that I'm in of what people do, and I just laugh at the different things people do. Like, some people just trash your team, but they don't want to go get your players. Why are they trashing them? It's just funny as hell.
Yeah.
Look, is there any topics y'all wanted to touch on? This was the first episode. We've been back for a few days for me. I couldn't wait to hop back on. I wanted to at least just say a little something about my guy Deshaun Watson coming back this week. Man, I can't wait to see him. Hey, listen, I'm a Clemson guy, so I've seen Deshaun Watson. I've seen Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence has like more talent than Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson got more dog than him to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is just out there playing and having a good old grand time. Deshaun's out there being clutch and shit. But what y'all think? I mean, I think Deshaun Watson. Here's what I think could happen. Either he's gonna be just rusty as hell, which I believe could happen, or I think no matter what their record is, they're just gonna go out there and just start letting it fly, even if they ain't got no chance for the playoffs. I think maybe I could see him having one good game against Houston. Then maybe things will start settling down and he'll start being a little rusty after that. Well, Kraft, what you think this looks like?
I'm the lowest. I'm going to be the lowest one in this podcast on Deshaun this year. I think this. Yeah, I don't know. Might regret saying it, but we've seen how Russell Wilson looks this year. I feel like he's going to look about that rusty for this year. Until next, hey, you gotta. This man has not played in 2 years, man. You think he's just gonna come back and light it up? They're better with Brissett until next year.
I agree, but he could be rusty. But Russell Wilson bad, like that's a reach.
Yeah.
You can't look that bad.
Years. Russell Wilson ain't missed a game until like this year of his fucking career or last year, and then now this dude's playing this bad.
Kraft, I'll put it like this, Kraft. If Andrew Luck came back, I'd be like, he's gonna look better than what Russell Wilson's doing this year, man.
If Peyton Manning came back, he would look better than Russ.
Well, that ain't even a debate for me. I really do think Peyton Manning could come back and do what Russell Wilson's doing. Seriously. All right, but yeah, go on, Kraft. You think he's gonna be rusty and
I think he's gonna be ass till next year. That's simply put for me. And
Ass
Amari
until next
Cooper
year.
and all the weapons are gonna be worse this year.
Chris, where do you stand?
I mean, if he's going to come back and he's definitely going to be rusty. I mean, anybody that ain't played in 2 years, and he's just now being able to practice with this new team. But I mean, I think they're waiting on next year. But I've seen what Deshaun Watson can do. I've watched him do it his whole career, and you know what? In all honesty, I don't even think this controversy's over with. I think we're going to deal with a lot more of this shit before. And I think it's all going to come back as soon as he takes the field. That there's going to be some shit going on after that game. I mean, I guarantee it. You know how this shit is. They are on his
hell
ass.
nah.
Get out there and focus on football. Man, just get back to form, man. I do think that Amari Cooper and them might take a little bit of a hit, but for the rest of the year at least. But he's got a hell of a matchup the first game back. He's got Houston. The first game back, he's literally playing against the team that that he just left and wanted out of. So if he wants to make a statement, this is the game to come out and make a statement.
Yeah, man. The woke mob, man. Please just leave this man alone, man. I do not want to see none of this shit. Because you already know where I stand, crap. I done said it once. I probably done said it 10 times. I don't think he did anything wrong. I hope people listen to this and think, Matt, he's at least half crazy. I am half crazy. That dude's going in there just getting happy in the massages. I don't want to hear this dude's should be suspended for 2 years. That's just crazy as fuck. Man, crap, I listened to the podcast, the footballers, they're called in Baltimore.
Yep. Baltimore. I mean, I ain't really got. I'm not on either side of it right now. I mean, if he did some sketchy shit, then he should have been punished, and if he didn't, then But the world we live in, I don't know what side to side on. I'm just.
Oh man.
I think that what he was charged with was. He was not. All these people keep saying sexual assault. This dude was never charged with sexual assault. This dude was charged with what? Sexual misconduct. You know what that is in America? That's a slap on the wrist in America. That ain't shit, dude. And these women went back to his house multiple times. If he was doing all this crazy, I read one. I ain't even gonna get that graphic about one that I read, and I was just like, I could not see my man Deshaun Watson doing this shit. Like, I couldn't see any grown man doing this shit that this says he did. And even my wife is behind me on this. And my wife was like, no self-respecting woman is gonna go back over to that dude's house and massage him again. It's ridiculous, man.
Crap,
Deshaun, nah, you may have a little bit of a problem though. I won't lie, you might have a little problem, but.
Hey, he's rich. Let him do what he wants. Crap.
Oh God,
man, this dude, Matt Ryan and Jonathan Taylor, just fumbled the damn exchange at the goal line. Man, I couldn't believe it.
They still got it. They better kick a field goal.
Nah, man, that's over with. Pittsburgh just got the ball, man.
Yeah. Oh, they turned it over completely.
Turned it over. I mean, that's just so funny. What's crazy is. Matt Kraft, real quick, we gonna ride out, but we gonna leave this podcast alone. But real quick, they just went to kick a field goal and Pittsburgh jumped offside, so then they got the first down. Then Colts came down here on like third down and threw the ball into the end zone and got a pass interference, and then they just fumbled the ball like the one, man. Can't believe it.
Yeah. I got me a good prize picks going on right now too.
Go for what is it, real quick?
Pretty hot. Well, no, I'm not going to hit. I had Najee at 52.5 rushing yards. He ain't going to hit it.
He was out.
Yep. That's the only one that looks like I ain't going to hit. Damn.
Yep, and I took the money line on the Colts tonight to win, and they just fucked me just then. So, look, man, fellas, sorry that you had to hear me and Chris's politics tonight. Free Deshaun. Hey, he's free week 13. He's free, man. A free man. But yeah, man, shoot, this was a good episode. I was happy to get back on. I can't wait to hop back on tomorrow or the next day and talk about the next week and start breaking these games down. So, fellas, you got anything to say to them, Kraft?
Shit, nothing much. Just hope all y'all had a good weekend in y'all's fantasy worlds. And last week was a holiday week. We were all doing our family stuff, having the kids, taking care of the kids, getting a little drunky. But this week, we're going to get some content out for y'all guys. So, stay tuned. We got some good topics to talk about.
Yep. Chris, got anything to say to the folks?
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow us on Twitter. The Cruise Dynasty Podcast. I've been doing my best to keep up with some of this stuff. I've been posting some stuff on there that I just think is kind of funny. Like, I mean, it pertains to football and stuff about some of these quarterbacks and stuff like that. That won't be like an everyday thing. I'm trying to keep it straight to the fantasy stuff. But man, when I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, when Sunday comes and all them games are playing at one time, it is hard as hell to sit there and go through all of that shit and post everything on Twitter. So y'all work with me on that.
Yep.
Follow our Discord. The link's on Twitter. If not, I know Matt will have a link under here.
Yep.
Join that shit, man. I can see whenever people join this. Be interactive. Come in here, talk to us. Even if you don't like us, come here. Say fuck us. I don't care. Come in here.
Dang, we need some haters, damn it. I want a hater.
There ain't no such thing. Give us a hater, man.
Keep talking politics. We're going to get some fucking haters coming right here.
I think the exact opposite, man. I told Matt earlier in that group chat. I said I think the exact. We're gonna have both for sure, but I think that the more people will side with us, just because I think that I ain't even gonna get into all that.
The heart of America watches football craft. So, but I will be real. I'll be on Twitter and all these little Twitter analysts or whatever. They gotta be woke with all they shit. So
that's 'cause they paid off, bro.
But
more
yeah,
of them
man.
out there than you think.
It's like Chris said, add the podcast, 5-star review, join us on the Discord, add me on Twitter at Hamm. It's all gonna be in the abouts and all the descriptions. I'm about to start getting real descriptive on this shit. Add the Cruise Dynasty Podcast Twitter. Add it all. Do it all. It's all about fantasy football, the fake stuff, and gambling here. So that's just what we do. This is our lives. Like I don't even have a job. This is just what I do.
I don't sleep.
I wish that were true, man. I wish I could do this for a living. Sheesh. It
Can't even feed Silas. I just feed him off fantasy football knowledge that I'm bringing to y'all.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Dead ass. Like Saturday night, I woke up in the middle of the night I had a dream that George Kittle scored a touchdown. I'm like, dude, I'm too invested in this fucking shit, dude. I can't even sleep.
Oh man. This is like I said, this is just what we do, man. The fake stuff and gambling, that's just how we roll. We just recapped last week. Talked a little bit of what did we talk about? Trade calculators. Talked about a little bit of that shit. But yeah, man. Add us on all the stuff. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and we out.
Peace.